get this thing started. Got some alerts. Let me turn on this mic and let me go ahead and switch this over. Okay. Actually forgot to share my screen on this one. There we go. Just to make sure. Yep, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started, everybody.
This meeting is being recorded.
Grand rising, everybody. It is your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my intraday/day trade analysis. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. So first and foremost, what I want to do is go over the 4-hour time frame and see what we have on the DXY. I'm gonna go ahead and do some markups real quick on it. So right now, DXY, well, not even right now, like at 6 yesterday, DXY had called for a buy. So I'm like, okay, this could start to be making, let me get rid of this real quick. This could start to be making a push to the upside and continue making higher highs right now, right? There's two things that I am watching for this, technical analysis wise. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot on over to the 1-hour time frame, and I'm gonna hide this. Hide the indicators real quick. And one thing that I'm really watching for on the DXY is if it's going to come back up to this fib region, which is currently at the 61.8 area. So that's what I'm really watching for. Well, if you let me take it to the ultimate highs, and then yes, 61.8. You can also see that there is some type of resistance hold right here at this level. So I'm going to be really watching and seeing what price is going to be doing in this fib zone regardless. But I'm going to be like watching my trade. Like if you want to get out of any, like let's say if you're in a Euro USD buy or a Uchf sell or anything like that, if you are in those, then yes, you can get out the trade, because like I said, the DXY is showing that it is going to keep going. It is showing that it could possibly go bullish. But technical analysis wise, I'm still watching and seeing that it could even potentially come up to 92.213 before turning around. So that's something that I just wanted to point out real quick. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back, and then I'm going to hide all this. So with that, wait, hold on, actually, let me come back to that. I don't need a replay right now. And let me get rid of this. One thing that I'm really going to be watching for is if price comes up to 92.146. I'm going to go ahead and set an alert there. And I'm going to put 71% fib. So that would let me know that, okay, there's a possibility that price could be turning around right here. Hide the fib because I'm not using that right now, and I'm going to be looking at this 15-minute time frame. If it breaks below 91.950 and then makes a retest at that area, I'm going to probably be looking for a buy. But I mean a sell on the DXY, but overall these time frames are, like I said, it's looking like price wants to continue going bullish. It is currently at the upper danger zone, and that's what I use, this little gray area right here, up here, upper danger zone, down here, lower danger zone. I use those stuff, like I use that as support and resistance, right? And so since this is the 4-hour time frame, again, I'm going to be watching to see if price is going to climb up to 92.148 and then then turn around. But again, the possibility that this could be going to the upside and making higher highs, it exists, right? So you want to watch out for that, because again, daily time frame, it had already called for a buy, and the weekly time frame as well is starting to call for a buy on the weekly time frame. But again, I would rather want price to come back down to like 91.076 or 91.036. Around that 91 area is where I would be looking for price to really, you know, turn around and stuff like that, you know. So that's what I'm going to be watching for overall. Appreciate everybody in the comment section. So let's go ahead and see what else we have on the other pairs, you know? So, oops, sorry. Euro USD, about the same thing, right? I still want price to make that retracement before pushing to the downside on the weekly time frame. 4-hour time frame, it had just called for a sell on this previous candle, so it was nothing to, that's why I didn't send out any, like, really, I didn't send out anything. It's because I was like, oh, well, these signals are like just playing out right now, so it's okay. And remember, I had mentioned that price can definitely still come down to like the 1.18771 area and then continue going to the upside. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, yes, this still exists. So even if I do get into this trade, which I am in, then I would I'll put my stop loss below these lows, because I would still want to see, same thing, right? I still want to see what price is going to come and do at this 1.18441 area. And I like how that matches up with my lower danger zone right here. The candlesticks, like I said, when I see blue candlesticks, that's just telling me that price is going bearish, right? Price is going bearish. If you see yellow candlesticks or green candlesticks, then that means that price is going bullish. What I'm really trying to see is if, like, what price is going to come and do down over here at 1.18844. You know, maybe I'm going to find another possible entry there if I start to see prices prices making some smaller time frame, like in a 5-minute time frame area. That's what I would be looking for. Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Let me get rid of this real quick. All right, there you go. Like if some 15-minute time frame, when price comes over to 1.1836, if I can get, like, let's say a morning star or tweezer bottoms, or I see some signs of rejection and price isn't looking like it's going to keep going to the downside, again, I'll be looking for buys at 1.18444. That's what I was mostly looking out for. But of course, I mean, like I said, I'm using arbitrage more, and so that would be my setup that I'll be looking for ultimately on Euro USD. Now, this is risky because, again, weekly time frame, it is bearish. Let that be no mistake. So this is somewhat of a risky Euro USD move. But again, that's why I said that, because it's already called to sell. It's already called to sell. So if price keeps going to the downside, then I won't be surprised. But I want that retracement personally for me. So if price does end up like dropping, again, the 4-hour time frame has given that exit an hour ago, but price is still holding in my lower danger zone area. I'm still, like, you see how price has just been riding, like, ever since it just comes down here and all that. Possibly what could be happening is just a stop hunt, breakout, retest, continuation, because price is coming to that 61.8 area. So I don't know, I'm just I'm looking forward to seeing what price is going to do. This is the trade that I would be looking to get into if price came down over here. 41 pip stop loss, 173 pip gain. That's pretty decent in my eyes. So let's see what happens with Euro USD. 80 USD, about the same thing, right? Hasn't called for the sell yet, but it's very possible that it could be. Overall, what I'll be watching for, same thing, guys. Price is coming into this, although this isn't an impulsive move, this is the move that price has recently made, and so this is what I'm measuring out. I want to see what price is going to come and do in this buy box, if it's going to continue going bullish, because again, I do want to see price come up to 0.76500 area before I look to sell AUD USD overall. Daily time frame, it is very much bearish, and the weekly time frame is starting to look like it's going to call for a sell as well. And over here we can see that the RSI line did kind of get tapped, but again, I would rather see price go up a little higher. But overall, I am still, it's still in a bearish downtrend to me. Like, overall, it's in a downtrend, but I'm looking for this retracement still before I look to actively, like, really go in for the sell, you know? So, again, going to see what price is going to come do at 0.75179. That would be an interesting area for me to look for price to start to reverse for another push to the upside. And again, the 4-hour time frame has not called for the exit yet, but it will be shortly. you can see that the compass line is at the RSI line. Once this crosses over, that's when it's going to start showing signs that it's going to turn around. But overall, again, like I've already given my fib entry. So USDJPY, same thing. At the upper danger zone, called for a buy about 8 hours ago. But as long as price is holding in this upper danger zone, I'm not really going to be too worried about it. And same thing, guys, from this fib, from the high to the low, or from the higher high to the higher low, because that's what that really is. Price is still in this fib area, so potentially price, like I said, if I can start to see on the lower time frames, like let's say I go on to the 5-minute time frame. Let me get rid of all this stuff actually. Like if I start to see the likes of, okay, let's see if let's just say hypothetically that price will stop right here, right? And then it makes, this is what I was looking for, and then it makes a breakout, retest, continuation. That's what, like, if I get price right here and it starts to push to the downside and it comes back to these highs, that might be a time where I'm like, okay, yes, price is indeed going to start pushing to the downside. And even though you're not going to you won't probably, if you don't catch it right here at 0.9152, at least you'll be able to catch it on a 5-minute time frame rather than waiting for the same type of move on the 1 hour, because if you catch it right here, you're still in this fib zone and you can still catch it at the 61.8, which isn't a bad risk reward setup. So again, I'm still watching for this to turn around. Absolutely. Like it could definitely hold at the 0.92171. It could definitely come up to 0.92261 and then start to turn around. But it is a counter trend trade. I remember I'm still in my Euro USD sell from last week or how many weeks ago, and from USDJPY buy. I'm still in those, so I'm just hedging these at this point. So let me go ahead and put this back on. 15-minute, 1 hour, all of that is going to be showing buys, and the 4 hour is also showing buys. So if you want to exit out of any buys, you can, but just know that it is in an area where I'm looking for it to turn around. So that is for USDJPY. The VIX is a joke. It looks like it's going to continue pushing to the downside after rejecting off of that upper danger zone yesterday. 1 hour time frame, extremely bearish, still looking like it's going to keep falling. I'm not interested in trying to trade the S&P and all that right now. This looks like it's probably going to end up turning around like and going to bullish. So with that being said, you guys see how price came down and then used the upper danger zone as a resistance rather than calling for any sells or anything like that. I'm not interested in trying to trade this, honestly. Like, I'm good. The 30-minute looks like a mess. Yeah, I don't have anything for the Dow Jones to give. I mean, or S&P to give. Dow Jones 1 hour time frame. I'm not comfortable selling this, to be quite honest with you. 4 hour time frame. I like how it's holding at the upper danger zone, but it's still calling for a buy, and the RSI line is nowhere near the upper danger zone, so I'm not gonna go for that either. And hey, price is rejecting off of the RSI line. It has to call for the buy. It's rejecting off of the upper danger zone as well. Hey, this might turn around. This might sell, but it's not for me. I don't want to trade these. I don't like how the NASDAQ is over here making higher highs, like literally higher highs, and everything else, and the S&P's making higher highs, but the Dow Jones is dropping. I don't like how all that correlates. So my guess is that this is gonna keep going bullish. Honestly speaking, like that's just how I feel about the NASDAQ. Although yes, it's done all of this, I just feel like it's just going to keep going bullish, and it's just overbought so hard for me to even consider trying to trade. So I'd rather just stay away, honestly speaking. USD Mexican, Still holding under this level, still holding under this zone. And what did I mention? I want to see price breakout, retest, and continue. Once I get that, then I'll look to probably buy it. But until then, I'm good. You know, it called for this buy. Price went up, rejected off of here. Called for a fake out sell, and then ended up calling for a buy again. You see the reason why I'm not trying to trade this right now? I'm waiting for that breakout first because price is just consolidating. So, but again, if you, let me just go over here to the charts real quick. Again, with USDMXN, if you were to have bought anywhere in this buy box, it's still technically valid. It is still technically valid. So I do still think that this can go bullish, but it's just not looking the greatest. On the daily time frame, it's definitely not looking the greatest. So just be aware of that. But overall, 30-minute time frame has been called for as a buy. I'm pretty sure the 1 hour, again, 1 hour just called for a buy. But the way how the bands look, I need to wait for a breakout. I can't just trade this now. I really need to wait for a breakout. And the 4 hour time frame, very much bearish. So I gotta wait. I'm not trying to get into XAUUSD quite yet. But if you're looking for a swing opportunity, again, you can still technically buy that. Alright, let's look at gold, because I see so many people trying to trade gold. I'm going to actually do everyone a solid and come and do some technical analysis on gold. So I had mentioned that there was this bear flag on gold about like last week, right? What I said about this bear flag is that price is either going to A, push to the upside off of this demand zone to retest the sell box, or B is going to keep pushing lower, you know. And right now, as the way how it looks, it could definitely still come. Let me go into the 4 hour time frame and zoom in. What price could definitely do on gold is keep doing this, honestly, until it breaks out to either side. This is all I could assume that gold is doing, just consolidating in this zone. Now, until I see otherwise, that's the only way I could play this. So if price were to come down here and it holds, you start to see some candlestick patterns and saying that price might turn around, have a tight stop loss and you can buy it up to the upside. Like, I still want to see this retracement, no lie. I want to see 1850 to 1863 get hit for me to then look for a potential move to the downside to make a lower low, you know. But we might not get that. This is a bear flag that's playing out. And I had also mentioned, sorry, I'm just being lazy. There we go. I'd also mentioned yesterday that, oh, this just looks like a pennant that's building up. Let me put it over here. That was weird, but okay. I just want to show this in a. So I was saying that if price, whichever way price breaks out, which is now breaking out to the downside, I'm probably going to most likely be leaning towards that way that price is going to keep going. And so, come over to the 1 hour time frame. Let me fix this up a little bit better. I'm just drawing that over there. Yeah, for me personally, I think they're just going to keep going to the downside. Like, honestly. That's what it just is pointing out to be. But I'm not trying to, again, I'd rather see price pushing up to the upside and then falling before I look to buy this, you know? I do see, yes, that it is holding at the support, and then there might be a whole bunch of people trying to buy it, which, I mean, if you want, go ahead, but I'm not quite interested in it. Not that much, especially since on the 4 hour time frame over here, price is calling for this sell. I do see it holding at this upper danger zone, so if anything, it'd just be a risky move, and I'd probably have like a small stop loss. But then you also have to be careful. If price does something like this, then you get whipped out, and then price keeps going to the upside, right? So I'm just gonna really, like, I want to get in a gold buy. I do want to get into this gold buy. If I were to buy it, it would be, sorry, I don't know why that was off. If I were to buy it, it'd be risky, but it would be now. That's just me, especially with how this candlestick printed out. If I were to buy it, it would be now, and I would just have to like I said, like put my stop loss below those lows. And if I get stopped out, then I'm probably gonna be upset about it. But that's probably a risk that's like, even if I draw this fib out from this high to this low, look where price is relatively at, you know. So if this candle really does, if this candlestick really does hold and it doesn't push any lower, and there's literally no volume here, I'm low-key down to take that risk. I'm low-key down to take that risk. But just be careful. Just remember, if the DXY pushes to the upside, I'm pretty sure this is gonna keep going bearish. So with gold, again, if I were to buy it, it'd be now, and I'd probably put my stop loss like at 1759, 1758, or something like that. It's a risky play, very risky, but it could play out in your favor. All right, so Bitcoin, as I had mentioned on Sunday, I believed that it was going to keep going bullish, and it did such. So, I mean, I don't think I need to say anything more. Again, daily. This is what I'm really waiting for on Bitcoin. So I don't have any like intraday setups for anybody, or any type of like opportunities to say. But I would mention that I would just say that if price can do this breakout up to 35,000, retest, and then continue, that would be solid. Will be extra solid on the cryptos. That spring that Peyton was talking, that Peyton talked about, man, I think played out too perfectly. So with that being said, 4-hour time frame, I think it's gonna keep going, but I'm not gonna try to trade anything off of here. And yes, I know that there is a support or a resistance right here. Let me go ahead and get rid of that. I know that there is a resistance right here that price can be holding at. That's not what I'd be worried about. If anything, I would be more worried about if price came up to the likes of 37,000 and started to hold. That's when I'd be worried and saying that, okay, maybe price could potentially continue going bearish to the downside, right? But again, off of arbitrage, that's why I'm looking for this break and retest to the continuation. That would be solid if price would be able to do that. But until then, being patient. And we can even see if I stretch this out to the left, look, you can just see how many other places price was using this as a resistance. I mean support, resistance. So you know, it's just a zone. It's a zone that could definitely be respected. Definitely watching what it does. But overall, this is, like I said, this is what I'm waiting for on the daily time frame. Oh, this is the weekly, my bad. On a daily time frame, just want that break, retest, continuation. So, see how that goes. Bitcoin, Ripple, same thing. Waiting for that break, retest, continuation. Doesn't have to be that high. I don't know why it is actually that high. Like, I don't want it to come up to that. I would rather it just come over here. Do something like that. And it's the same thing with Ripple. Price did continue up to the upside after that, the buy. If you had taken advantage of even when price was down here and you bought, then you would be in profits and stuff like that. So Ripple doing what I needed it to do. It is holding at this little resistance, but I think it's going to keep going to the upside, so that's nothing to really be worried about. So yeah, just keep buying. If you aren't margin trading, but if you bought Ripple or any of these cryptos at the prices that I or Payne had mentioned, then you'd be solid, you know? You'd be pretty solid right now. Going over to, oh, hold on, let me see something real quick. Yeah, it's coming up to this zone that I had mentioned that price could come up to. I still have alerts set there, so let's see what happens on TA. I'm actually probably going to do my own personal technical analysis on my charts so that I can clean my charts up. And Litecoin went bullish from this buy, playing out nicely. It's very solid. It's very nice. Daily time frame, same thing. Price isn't quite there yet, but I like how the RSI line is there. So breakout, retest, continuation. Overall, that's what I'm looking for. And then last but not least, let's go to Ethereum. I'm gonna talk about Ethereum a little bit more. Price went bullish from this buy that I had mentioned. If you had got in on that, that's a very nice play. What I would say about Ethereum, same thing as with all the other cryptocurrencies, they are at this little resistance, and so price can definitely hold here to make some type of retracement, which is not what I would be necessarily crazy looking for. And same thing, if I take it from this high to this low, 2,367 on Ethereum is definitely a possibility where price could start to reject. But I would want that price to go bullish, retrace, and then continue to the upside, right? So that's what I'm still looking for overall. Let me use these real quick. So I'd want to see price breakout. Let me actually put the daily. Okay, for this, it's actually gonna have to go a little higher. So let me not even have my fibs out, and let me get rid of these. I need price to break out a little higher to to these highs or something like that. Not these highs. They're not. I wouldn't consider those highs, but it's higher than where price is at right now. Then a retest and then a continuation. Because even though I'm still looking for this buy, the RSI line still isn't down over here in my lower danger zone, and that's what I usually like to see. So we might see some consolidation on some of these pairs, but for me, like I said, I really like the buys on the cryptos right now. Things are starting to set up, things are starting to play out for the buys. So let's see what we can get. And from this bullish push, let's say if price does stop right here, again, if price holds, the possibility of something like this happening does exist for price from these highs come back to 1853, then go bullish. That does still exist. And since it broke this lower high right here, before making not a lower low but an equal low, once it broke here, that's why I'm like, okay, I'm really feeling bullish on Ethereum now, So waiting on that. I know Peyton, he's happy about that. All right, it's going over to GBP/USD. Yeah, GU had also called for a sell. It called for a sell a while ago. That's why I was like, I'm not really feeling this. I'm not really feeling like getting into this, especially since I was in, since I am in a Euro GBP buy. But same thing as with the other USD pairs. Price can really stop right here. It could hold at this level and then turn around and end up going bullish. Because overall, I do want to see a retracement on GBP/USD from, hold on, let me go on to my technical analysis over here. From when price it did this sell, from when price came up in here and hit this 1.400, sold off perfectly, that would have been a sniper, man. I'm still mad that I didn't take that trade. But again, price did come down here and hit my alert. Well, this is actually supposed to be way more extended, and it came up here and hit my 78.6. So again, with GU, I'm now looking for a retracement of some sort, or even if price goes bullish, but I'm looking for a price to retrace at least before anything. So I'm not really crazy over trying to sell GU right now either. But if it breaks these lows, absolutely, it's gonna probably end up continuing to fall, But like I said, they're just not really crazy over them quite yet. The daily time frame is very much bearish. Let me get rid of, I need this actually for higher time frames. So overall, GU, like I said, it's bearish, but where it's at on the fibs, I'm really looking for a retracement. Again, I want to see price come back up to some not even 1.1400. Even if price came up to actually, let me see where I'd want this to come. just from this high to this low. Yeah, back up to like 1.39600. Although that wouldn't be like fire for the swing. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And even on the weekly time frame, again, it's still not bearish on the weekly, so I'm still waiting on this. I like how it's setting up though, and I would need to see the break of 1.3700 in them to be bearish, like completely bearish on GU. But I am starting to go be bearish. Like I really do like the bears. So that's for GU. GA, if you had gone into this GA buy, like I had mentioned, then you would be up a pretty good amount. I didn't get into this because it didn't give me my retest, unfortunately. So it is what it is, but I'm not worried about it. What I am looking at for GA though, like I mentioned, is for that sell. We got the sell, we're getting like rejections over here. Let me just come over here. See how price had broken this structure right here. This is the retest that I'm liking what I'm seeing. From this sell, 1.183933, that's a good rejection. But overall, let's say if we're taking it from the high to the low, price can still come up a little higher, so I'm watching for that. But I like this rejection off of this zone. So again, overall on GA, I'm still bearish on it. I'm still pretty bearish on it. Daily time frame isn't there yet, so that's one thing that I'm just being cautious of. That's why I'm just like, let's just wait and see what it does. It could be going bullish, who knows? Because if AUD/USD ends up going bearish, this most likely will go bullish. So just waiting on GA. I'm not really trying, like, other than that 1 hour that I was looking at, I'm not really looking at anything else on GBP/AUD. GBP/JPY. And before I continue, my last pair is going to be Euro/GBP. If you have any pairs that you want me to look at, I suggest that you tell me them now, so by the time that I'm almost done, you will be able to have your pairs that you want me to look at, and then I can go take a look at those for you. So GBP/JPY been extremely bearish. Same thing as with same thing as with GBP/USD. From these highs, price respected this fib and then ended up dropping, falling nicely. That makes me feel good about EG. And so overall, GBP/JPY very bearish on the 1 hour, 4 hour. It called for this sell, and the daily, and this played out pretty decently. You know, I did mention that price, I still think it's gonna fall. I liked where it was at on technical analysis, and it's showing the same thing on arbitrage. So I do expect in the next coming days 151 to get hit. Weekly time frame still extremely bullish. So GJ is still extremely bullish on the weekly time frame. So you just want to be careful for that. But I'm liking the signs of a potential long-term reversal coming in. I like that possibility. But we also have to remember, from this high to this low, price it came to the 61.8. It could definitely still come to 151.044 or 150.500 and then keep going to the upside. That's something that I'm watching for, but I do not want to see. So that is for GJ and Euro/GBP. Let me see, nothing yet. Okay, so Euro/GBP daily time frame. It's been closing over the it's closed over the RSI line 1, 2. This, if it closes like this today, that'll be 3 days in a row. 4 hour time frame. It looks like it was trying to break these previous highs, but it's struggling right now. But I think it's going to keep going. 1 hour time frame. That's why I sometimes don't like trading the 1 hour. Did this W push, like double bottom, push up to the upside. I think that this is going to still keep going. Sorry. I don't know why I keep forgetting to bring that back up. I believe that it's going to keep going to the upside. Not really caring too much about the bears at this point. Yeah, so I'm bullish on EG still. So that's that. Is there any other pairs that anybody else wants me to look at? anything. All right. Well, if there isn't any other things, I'm gonna go ahead and take off. Thank you guys for checking out my analysis. I appreciate it. And
Recording has stopped.
oh, UJ, awesome. All right, well there you go. I got UJ, USDJPY. Okay. First of all, UJ on the weekly time frame, very much bullish on the weekly time frame. Daily time frame, it's starting to look like it might be showing some rejection at these highs. But that's not the only thing that I would want to see for me to be like, okay, I'm really feeling good about the bears. 4-hour time frame on UJ. Oh, it's broken out, retested. I like the idea of selling UJ like a lot actually. This looks way better than Uchf to me personally. I would have wanted to get in probably like at 110.720 or something like that. That's where I would have preferred to get in. And I like this magenta candle that's starting to print out on USDJPY. As if price breaks through these lows, I believe that UJ can definitely hit 110.075 by the end of the week. I'm definitely liking this sell. I actually might get into this, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go ahead and set my alert for the exit. Any alerts that I get, and as long as I'm awake, then I'll definitely like send them out and be like, hey, this alerted. Like I said, I didn't send anything out because it was by the time like I was looking into my analysis, I was like, yeah, I'll just talk about it in the analysis. But since this is my last analysis that I'm doing this week, again, if this ends up giving the exit, then I would definitely hold on, let me change this real quick. I would definitely look to be taking the sells. But if I could get price to come back up to like 110.690 or something like that, then yeah, I want to get in the sells. 1 hour time frame, it called for the sells over here. Retest, continue. I like the sells. Just point blank. 30-minute time frame is about to call for a sell pretty shortly, I'm sure. 15-minute time frame is just calling for a sell. I like the bears. And then I'm gonna do you one better. Come over here. Ooh, I remember this swing. I remember that swing. It never played out, but the price action was definitely not telling me that it was, so I never got in. 15-minute time frame. The only thing that I would say about UJ that I'm not really feeling is that, let me go from this high. From this high to this low, price never came and really hit that 110.775 fib or 110.823. But again, I'm feeling the sell. I do think that price is going to end up dropping. So that's for UJ for me personally. Like at least like at the end of the week, I want to see it come down to 110.082. But again, it's really all dependent on if the DXY is going to be bearish. If the DXY is going to be bearish, then this is going to end up dropping as well. So yeah, that's what I have for UJ. I'm gonna go ahead and no problem. All right, well, if that's the case, thank you guys for checking out my analysis. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna be posting up timestamps very shortly. So with that being said, let's make some money, y'all. Later.